I'm Carl Bishop, the itinerant voice actor, and today I'm talking to the greatest diver in history. 5 Olympic gold medals, 4 gold, 1 silver, 5 world championship titles, 47 national titles, more than any diver in U.S. history. Your records have not yet been broken. Greg, I'm talking about Greg Louganis. Who else? How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Great. Thank you very much. I had a little frog in my throat, and now he just jumped out. I'm very happy about that.
Good thing.
Anyways.
Did you name him?
Sparky. I'll call him Sparky. How about that?
Okay. Cool. That's a good name.
So I first have to say I'm very proud and happy that you are marching at the Women's March in Washington on Saturday. Thank you for doing that, by the way.
I think it's going to be a wonderful thing. I think it's important with this new administration that all of us look after each other.
Yes.
Whether it be people of color, indigenous people, the LGBTQ individuals, Jews, Muslims. Mm-hmm. We all need to stand together.
And speaking of this new administration, you've already had dealings with Mike Pence. You went to Indiana to protest his signing of the law that would restrict LGBTQ rights. Take me from there. What happened? What was your interaction?
Well, actually, what happened was I was going to Indianapolis to support Jeannie White, Ryan White's mom,
mm-hmm.
Because it was the 25th anniversary of the passing of Ryan White, and there was a new book coming out. And so I was there to support Jeannie, and then as soon as I hit the ground, then the whole Pence thing happened,
mm-hmm.
Was happening, and then, it just, hell broke loose, It was like, what's going on? So I was pulled in every which direction. I tried to attend one of the press conferences, but I was escorted out. Because I didn't have a proper pass or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, then the next day, Pence reached out and wanted to meet with me. And so I met with him, and I shared my experience as a gay person growing up, being bullied, and, and my suicide attempts, and, and how difficult it was. And, there have been 2 times that I felt like I've been in the presence of evil, and that was one of them, because he believes in conversion therapy, and there's that is proven to be abuse.
Exactly.
I mean, in the cause of so many suicides, that, it's...
You put research in front of somebody and say, look, here are the facts, and yet they still can't. Okay, your beliefs aside, Mike Pence, here's the fact that when you expose someone to this treatment, they're more apt to commit suicide. And you can't, we can't change your mind. You're not going to change someone else's orientation. That always astonishes me, that it's only one way. It's a one-way street for folks like him. But let's hope he has the ability to evolve since he's in this position of power that he is now, which is a little frightening.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice. If, but I don't know that he would even look at the science. I mean, even after sharing, my experience,
mm-hmm.
I mean, there was, no empathy. There was no feeling there.
Mm.
It was just, very disturbing.
Well, I want to change the subject a little bit to something a little bit happier. Well, actually, a lot happier, and that's dog agility. Now, the first time I heard about this, it was a good friend of mine who lives in Philadelphia, and her dog, the most darling dog I've ever seen, and she shows me video of him jumping through like this indoor track, jumping through hoops and doing all these things, and I'm like, what is that? She says, dog agility. He won, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing. Now your pets have competed, correct?
Yeah. 2 Jack Russells and a Border Collie that I competed in dog agility.
Cool.
I got, actually, I found that both of my Jack Russells at one point in AKC were the number 1 Parson Russell Terrier in the country for dog agility. And so, because I found their medals going through my stuff. And
cool.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm getting a new puppy because Dobby my little one, I retired him 7 years ago, and he ran his last AKC Nationals.
Cool.
And he won the international for his jump height, and so was real happy with that. But now I'm settled enough to get a new puppy and start all over again.
Now, do you think it's because you're an Olympian that somehow your dogs are influenced in that way, that they become champions?
It's funny because like all my dog agility friends say, "Oh, you're so successful because you're so competitive." And I'm not. I just want the dog. The dogs love it. I mean, they have so much fun doing it, and they make me laugh. I mean, even when we're not successful, and so as long as they're having fun, I'm having fun.
That's great. That is so cool. I'm just waiting for them to start cat agility, which unfortunately
they do have cat agility.
No way.
Yes,
really?
They do. They do. They lure them through with this little wand thingy,
right?
With a little furry thing attached to it.
Oh my gosh!
And they do agility.
Wow. Well, my little cat would never go for it. He's very bonded to me and extremely shy, and he would just go and hide. He would be the champion of that. So
he's a good cuddler.
Oh, very, very good. And only with me, though, which is a little annoying to hubby. Now, you've got so much going on right now. You've got a clothing line coming out. You are writing a Broadway musical with a composer friend of yours, and you have something coming out on television. You're developing, is it a show, a series, or a documentary, or what's going on?
We're developing a potential series, conversations with artists from Bravo, that type of thing. Because one thing that I'm really passionate about is peak performance. I had a conversation with Bart Connor and Michael Johnson, about peak performance, and it's interesting because there's a difference between being a competitor and being a performer. And the one interview that really struck me back in 1984 was Evelyn Ashford, when she described her experience of her world record run, that it felt like nothing. And that's a lot of times my experience in peak performance.
What do you mean it felt like nothing? Just like you didn't feel any emotion from it, or it was just...
There was no effort.
Oh, I see.
It was, you did your training, you trusted your training.
Right.
There was no thought. There was just doing.
Got it.
Whereas with Michael Johnson, he said that it was, he had to have that top competitor to push him, and that's what drove him.
Okay.
So I think it's really very interesting. I think that you have, that, it's like Malcolm Gladwell's Outliers. You have your Wayne Gretzky's, you've got your Michael Jordans, you've got, so many incredible athletes that, it's just a part of them.
Is it going to be, so the show is going to be...
a way to express themselves.
So is it going to be about gaining peak performance no matter who you are? Is that what you're getting at? Or is it just finding out where those athletes get that from?
Well, where they get that from, but also motivation.
Okay, I see.
There's so many various motivations. When I was being bullied as a kid, and I was getting my face rubbed into the asphalt, I swore to myself I would be the best in the world at something. I didn't know what it was at the time. Wow. I think I was, 12, and I didn't know what it was at the time, but I'll show them.
Yeah, that's great.
Because I'm not a person that speaks about himself. I'm not real vocal, but I'd rather be a person of action.
Yeah. I wonder, because, you can probably tell by my voice, I pass as straight, and I always read that way initially to people. And I did all through high school, so I never had to come out. But I had a lot of hiding to do, and that was, there was all the pain and crap associated with that. And, I released it through using a lot of drugs. at that time, and which I, you know, and I can understand, and you dealt with your own bouts with suicide attempts.
We all have our own paths, and you know, our own, you know, our own baggage that we carry, you know, and our own experiences in life journey.
Well, I thank you for doing that. It sounds like a very exciting show, as does the musical. Tell me about the musical real quick. What's that going to be about?
Well, the musical is entitled Hero, the Musical, and it's basically my story, but told through the eyes of other people who've shared their stories and how my life has affected them from when I wrote the book, Breaking the Surface, back in '95, and coming out about my sexual identity, being dyslexic, having a learning difference, my HIV status, all of that. Ryan White was a great inspiration. He makes an appearance as a part of my story. And it's basically the stories that people have shared with me. So it's my story told through the characters of people who've shared their stories.
So tell me, Tom Daly is going to play you, and I'll get front row tickets.
No, you know who I want to play me?
Who?
Because Adam Lambert.
Oh, that's perfect, actually.
The reason why is because Patrick Allen Casey, who's writing the music and lyrics, Judy Norton, who's writing the book, and myself, so far, all three of us were born on January 29th.
Oh, wow.
And I know Adam is born January 29th. His birthday is January 29th, too. So it's like,
very
trying
cool.
to keep this January 29 club.
There you go.
And, we're open. We're open to, you know, it'll be interesting to when we get to the point where, you know, we find a producer, the right producer, and start either workshopping it or, you know, get it in the theaters in trial.
Great. Well, Greg, thank you. Best of luck with the production of that musical, and thank you so much for having a conversation with me today. I appreciate it. Good luck with everything coming up for you in the future.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Well, there you have it. Another edition of The Itinerant Voice Actor with me, Carl Bishop. My little podcast that no one listens to, but everyone should. Special thanks to Johnny and Robert at Wise Brother Media, celebrity booker Paul Adamo, my partner in crime David Levin at Brainstorm Inc., and the super talented Noel Honig at The Drawing Room NYC. More episodes of The Itinerant Voice Actor coming soon. Thanks for listening.